Welcome to the YouTube live this morning. I want to pop in. I guess I've got a video posted about the David Icke interview that was scheduled for today. David sent me a message early this morning before the crack of dawn here in Alberta, and he has had to postpone that until September the 9th. So hope that all you get that in your calendar. September 9th, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time and 5 p.m. London time. We'll be going live. And also, he's had a bit of trouble getting on YouTube. So just keep that in mind and stay tuned to this channel, because I'll just continuously provide you with updates. If for some reason we can't do that broadcast on YouTube, then we will have an alternate platform. And also, his interview will absolutely be playing on UK Health Radio soon after the initial live broadcast. So again, write that in your calendars. David Icke, a big sad apology. He had something come up, but all things in divine and right timing, right, guys? At least that's what I think. So maybe he'll have more insight, intelligence, and inspiration for us to all share with him at that time. That'll be great. In the meanwhile, there's been 2 amazing interviews this week already, and I will apologize for my on the first interview, Robert David Steele, on Saturday morning. We got started a little bit late, but we did go live, and it was a great interview. And then I took the interview down to do a little polishing, just adding the intro and outro, making it nicer, a viewer experience that was a little bit nicer for you guys. And so that interview is now available on this channel, so you can watch it here. And please do, Robert David Steele, and he is the ex-CIA officer, a spy. He's a spy guy. So he brings a very interesting worldwide perspective about what's going on right now, and really how we might be thinking about this thing, that it isn't just this past 6 months, but these things have been occurring in the world. We also get into a lot about pedophilia, and talk about a book that he's supporting online called pedoempire.org. And the book is actually called Pedophilia and Empire, the Sodomy, Satan, and the Deep State. So it's an interesting read, very well researched, and we'll get more into that topic probably in about a month from now. I've got another interviewer coming up that's going to get deep into the content of that book, and hopefully it's the author himself. So that said, that interview is a very, very excellent resource for you right now. The second interview that I did this week was Sacha Stone, and Sacha is the founder of Humanitad, the International Tribunal for Natural Justice, and the founder of the New Earth Project. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that interview, Sacha is on fire these days. He is a voice of clarity. You might not agree with everything that everybody says on my interviews. And that's totally fine. We are supposed to be able to have free thought. Our voice here, we have had on Master Your Life, we've been the voice of freedom really for people since 2016. So we've been around a bit of time, and so grateful that we've had so many great guests throughout the span of time, that we're nearing 200 episodes on this broadcast. So we really do stand for freedom of speech, that censorship should not be happening, but yet we're seeing it time and again. So Robert David Steele, Sacha Stone talk about why it's important to think about how if we don't do something right now to activate our sovereignty in the real world, that we are going to be run over like chattel. Sacha directly addresses things that are going on in Canada, the UK, and around the world. But I just wanted to point out from a Canadian context, because I'm a Canadian girl myself, that a lot of times I feel like we're not necessarily mentioned in the narrative, but there's really important things for you to pick up, all my Canadian friends, and to contemplate and consider. We're getting very close to September. Schools are going back in. Masking is being mandatory in Alberta. We as parents and grandparents, I'm just calling on you to up your game. And I know the people who watch me and listen to the show and who've been my friends for, any span of time, really do understand that mastering your life is about the present moment action. So what are you doing in the present moment that's going to make your life better. But also, what are you doing for future generations to make their lives better? And as a grandmother of 3, I can tell you I'm very concerned about what's happening in the world right now. And so much so that I want people to be educated about what are your actual options. How do we rally together? How do we work together? How do we support one another? How do we listen to one another? How do we continue in dialogue for the betterment of our human race? So the humanity, being disconnected from one another, is that actually the path that we want to go down? And so these 2 interviews may help you to become more courageous in your life and to see things with more clarity, more certainty, and to ask better questions, which is a great sign of intelligence. So please, again, listen to those 2 interviews. Mark in your calendar for September the 9th, whatever time zone you're living in. That will be David Icke's interview. And just share all of this with your friends, family, other people around you in your bubble. And, give us 15 minutes of either one of the interviews with Robert David Steele, Sacha Stone, and decide for yourself. Decide if their message resonates for you. Take time to comment. And also, you'll notice that I have a Patreon site set up that's relatively new. You're the reason why these podcasts can continue to go. We're a voice for freedom. We're a voice for independence. And your support of creative endeavors like this one definitely help me to keep on going, keep on air, stay on. Because we're always being threatened with the deplatforming thing. Anyone that's talking against the lack of an open mind is in jeopardy of being offed on all the social media platforms, which is happening pretty heavily right now. So we're having to resource new platforms, new ways of communicating, and that all takes time, effort, money, and investment, research, bringing on new guests. So anything that you can find in your heart to support the show, we really appreciate. You can check out my Patreon site at Patreon at Master Your Life, and you can see all the fun things that we have going on there. So there's lots of different options for getting involved. Some include just being, a supporter, and some include some one-on-one time with myself or a Q&A once a month. Go and explore, maybe even make some suggestions, right? It's about being a community and building a community of people who censorship is not okay for, that freedom of speech is our divine right here. That's we're allowed to speak our minds, to honor each other, and still to have our own opinion. And that's very important in human diversity. And also a group of people that wants to stay connected with one another and to love each other, even if you don't necessarily ascribe to every single belief that each other has. Okay. Again, that's it for me for this morning, but just write those dates in your calendar, listen to those couple of interviews. Also, I'll make available a interview I did recently with Dr. David Martin. So I know right now that I have that unlisted for reasons of Patreon, but we'll actually unlist that one today so that you can have access to Dave Martin's interview as well, because Dave is really good at teaching people how to do the research. So much time is spent in fighting with each other about the sound bites of information that come up. But actually to do proper research is a real skill. And you might go, oh, God, Leah, I'm so tired. I don't want to do any more research. But we need to take control of our lives in order to have a future that's desirable, even a present that's desirable. I mean, isn't it nicer to enter a conversation where you feel certainty about the facts that you're giving or where your research comes from? And so that's what David does in his interview with me. He teaches some of those strategies, and in the other work that he does, he teaches strategies for people all the way along so you can be more and more empowered. And that's what this show is all about. That's what I'm all about. And that's what we're promoting. So again, if this speaks to you, that is something that you want in your life. If you want more control, more intelligence, more understanding, more health and vitality, then I'm just going to invite you to listen to those 3 interviews and to write into your calendar September the 9th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 5 p.m. UK time, and we will see you then and there. And again, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching this live, and encourage and invite other people to join in this conversation. I love you all and hope you have a fantastic day. That's all for me. Bye for now.